3,000 years ago, Israel grew from a small cluster of tribes to one of the largest kingdoms in the region under the rule of King David. But their great king, who once slayed a giant, was now old and dying, and another would have to take his place. This video is about the kings who came after David and the brutal stories that happened in this holy land. Stories about gods and wars that you've probably never heard before, but are the key to understanding the entire Bible. David's son Solomon was the first to sit on the throne after he passed away. Not only did King Solomon expand the borders of the kingdom and force the surrounding nations to bring him tribute in the form of silver and gold, but he also fulfilled the vision his father David had for him to build a temple for God in the holy city of Jerusalem. A massive building full of gold, expensive tapestry, and most importantly, the presence of God. The kingdom had never been stronger, but Solomon had a dark secret that was about to change everything. Years ago, God had made a promise to his father David that his descendants would rule the kingdom of Israel forever. But if they did evil in God's eyes, destruction would come upon them. Now, David's son Solomon had taken for himself 700 wives from the surrounding nations and 300 female slaves who he used for his own pleasure. No doubt these wives helped Solomon secure peace with his neighbors, but he broke peace with God in the process. Solomon's addiction for women had led him to start worshiping the same foreign gods his wives worshipped. He even built shrines on various hills in Israel to worship these gods. The Bible calls these hill shrines high places, and it's because of these things that God sends one of his prophets to tell a man named Jeroboam that God is going to give 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel to him. But Solomon finds out about it and tries to kill Jeroboam. So he flees to Egypt, where an Egyptian pharaoh named Shishak protects him until Solomon dies and his son Rehoboam reigns in his place. But the people don't like their new king because he's working them like slaves. Rehoboam was in Shechem when the people rebelled against him, so he fled to Jerusalem, and all the tribes except Judah made Jeroboam their king. Just like that, the kingdom David had worked so hard to build was now split, and civil war broke out over a new border that had formed, dividing the kingdom in half. The kingdom of Israel in the north and the kingdom of Judah in the south. In order to secure his land, Rehoboam built a series of fortifications in a bunch of cities near the new border. He also was able to hold on to the city of Jerusalem, which contained the holy temple Solomon had built for God. This was a big deal because even though Solomon had rebelled and started worshiping other foreign gods, most of the people still worshipped the God of Israel, who had given them all of this land to begin with. This made King Jeroboam super nervous. He feared that his people would ditch his kingdom and move back to Judah to be near the temple. So he came up with a plan. He built 2 golden calves in these 2 cities here and told the people to worship these idols instead. But then something strange happened. A man of God from Judah crossed this hostile border to deliver a message to Jeroboam, who was worshiping the golden calf at Bethel. Behold, a child, Josiah by name, shall be born to the house of David in Judah, and he's going to burn all of your false priests on these same altars. Suddenly, the altar split in 2, and Jeroboam was afraid. The kingdom was starting to destroy itself from the inside out. And so, naturally, Israel and Judah's enemies started to attack. The first major attack came from the same Egyptian pharaoh who helped Jeroboam escape from Solomon. He sent his army into Rehoboam's southern kingdom of Judah and took almost all of the precious gold that Solomon had collected over his lifetime. But he didn't stop there. He then sent his troops across the northern border of Judah into the kingdom of Israel, where he paid a visit to his old friend Jeroboam and raided his cities as well.